You go to sleep as a child, and the moment the clock strikes midnight on your 18th birthday, the invisible shield that has protected you for your entire life vanishes. In the eyes of the law, the transition is instantaneous. The government no longer recognizes you as a dependent. It sees a person with full legal liability. With that shift comes a new form of power. You are authorized to cast a ballot in federal and local elections, giving you a direct say in the government that oversees you. You can also commit yourself to military service, volunteering for enlistment without needing a parent's signature or consent. Your signature now carries weight in the economy. You can sign binding contracts, open bank accounts, and manage finances independently. This midnight transfer of power is often celebrated as a milestone, but it represents the permanent termination of the legal protections you were born with. From this point forward, you carry total legal liability. Mistakes that once ended in a phone call to your parents can now lead directly to civil lawsuits or a sentence in an adult prison. Your parents lose their legal standing to represent you. They can no longer shield you from consequences, negotiate on your behalf, or act as your proxy without your explicit written permission. All the new freedoms you gain today are balanced by a new and unforgiving level of personal responsibility. To survive this reality, you have to understand the invisible legal and financial systems that now govern nearly every choice you make. The first system to lock your parents out is medical privacy. Under federal law, if you are hospitalized, doctors are prohibited from sharing your status with your parents or allowing them to make decisions for you unless you have provided consent beforehand. Resolving this requires you to sign a medical power of attorney and a HIPAA release, which identifies the specific people you trust to act in a crisis. While the law restricts your family's access to your information, it creates new requirements for the information you provide to the government. For young men, turning 18 triggers a federal requirement to register for the Selective Service within 30 days. Failing to register carries heavy consequences, including the loss of federal student loans, disqualification from government jobs, and potential fines. This moment formalizes your role as a citizen. The state now holds you directly accountable for civic duties, while simultaneously barring your parents from your private records. That accountability extends to the financial sector, where your ability to rent an apartment or buy a car is gatekept by your borrowing history. This is your credit score, a numerical ranking used by banks and landlords to determine if you are a reliable adult. The score is built on consistency. 35% of the value is determined by your history of on-time payments, while While a lease is a pride agreement, you also face an inescapable obligation to the Internal Revenue Service. Earning an independent income means you are responsible for tracking tax withholdings and filing a return. Failure to manage these forms can lead to significant penalties and interest. If you fail to pay what you owe, the government has the authority to collect that debt directly, including the power to garnish your wages. At 18, your signature becomes a tool with real consequences. Every lease, loan, and tax form binds you to a set of legal obligations that you alone must fulfill. Navigating these new responsibilities successfully requires a specific set of learned skills. Success depends on mastering practical, daily routines, building a strict budget, managing your own household, and communicating professionally in formal settings. You can protect your future by taking control of your finances now. This means opening your own bank accounts, monitoring custodial funds, and tracking every expense to ensure you stay within your means. True independence is not the result of reaching a certain age, but the product of daily, disciplined habits. To manage this transition, sit down with your parents and prepare the necessary transition documents, from medical proxies to bank account transfers, before they are needed in an emergency. The shift that occurs at 18 offers a high degree of freedom, but it is only sustainable for those who accept the weight of the liability that comes with it. This is the moment you take the pen from your parents to begin writing the binding contract of your own life.